Karen, as you can see behind me, the protest is still going strong with more than 100 participants now present. We've had cameras here all afternoon and we've seen the gathering grow in size, starting at just dozens. This is in response to the death of Daniel Prude, who died in RPD custody after being arrested in March. While 21-year-old Nazir McFadden and 19-year-old Amir Starks were killed Thursday night outside a gas station on West Main Street. I spoke to the aunt of Nazir, who says he was a lover of many things. His loss is difficult to process. Now here at Hedonist, not only are all the chocolates made by hand, but check this out. Every Valentine's Day, they come out with a special line of chocolate with customized art right on the chocolate. Well, East River Street here behind me is blocked off with Waterloo PD, the Seneca County Sheriff's Office, and New York State Police on scene. There's a White House to my left taped off with investigators inside and outside taking pictures. All we know right now is that authorities are investigating a suspicious death. I'm Andrew Freeman here on Monroe Avenue in Rochester, where several business owners are boarding up their businesses in the event of a second night of more violent protests here in the city. Andrew Bacetto, the owner of Turcott's Tap Room, says he's just being cautious.
More preventative than anything else. We just don't want to have to do it, but it's better than cleaning up after everything's broken.
He's the first in a line of businesses around Monroe Ave boarding up.
It's not what we anticipated when we went into this.
For bars like his, they've already been closed due to COVID-19.
Open 1 day a week for deliveries and or for pickup, and we got to spend money on making sure people don't break everything down.
Fidelio Rita, the owner of Nino's Gourmet Mexican Street Food, is just trying to look out for his employees.
We try to support families, like people need to bring money for kids and wife, so that's why it's very important for us to keep this business safe.
Others like Jennifer Plunkett of Aaron's Alley just opened Saturday for the first time in weeks.
It is a hurt that all of a sudden we open up, we're ready to go. We were busy yesterday, busy today, and now we got to stop.
As it's the city she loves, Plunkett is naturally concerned. But she says the behavior she's seeing isn't Rochester.
I think that the people that are causing problems are not part of our community. They're just people causing a little bit of havoc, and then other people who are struggling and angry, maybe they jump in, but it's not, this is not a representation of our city.
In Rochester, Andrew Freeman, Spectrum News. I'm Andrew Freeman, and while martial arts studios aren't considered essential while New York is on pause, for many, that's not the case.
For the discipline and the self-control, they really rely on that.
For the Jones family of Pittsford, it started with just the kids, and then everyone got involved.
I said, yeah, I want to do it, and at that point, she was like, well, I guess I won't be the only one.
Right, they pressured me
doing it. So.
But instead of keeping up their training at school, they're doing it from their own home.
Really small space to do it, and we have to separate us in groups of 2.
The Agape Black Belt Center has continued bringing Taekwondo training to its students via Zoom every day, from calisthenics and self-defense to discipline.
It's weird because we're not doing it in person, but the students have been doing awesome. We've been doing our best to keep everyone motivated and still engaging with them as much as we can through the camera.
Instructor Haley Raw is glad to be able to continue teaching.
Especially now with everyone staying at home, it's been awesome that we've been able to take our program to them through virtual classes and keeping them still active even though they're in quarantine.
And for the Jones family, they appreciate the sense of normalcy.
We're always like, what day is it? Oh my gosh, is it Monday? Is it Friday? Nobody knows. And so to have something different in the day that's not just the 6 of us, in the house together, it's been pretty cool.
Agape encourages people to give their virtual classes a try by checking out their website agapebbc.com. In Pittsford, Andrew Freeman.
Goodbye, students!
Spectrum News.
Good job today!
Jeff Dewar has been bowling at Don's Bowling Center in Rochester for 15 years.
It's more cozy, it's more We're family owned, and it's just a good atmosphere down here.
A close friend of the family's, he says it's been tough seeing the bowling alley struggle due to COVID-19.
And now that it's going backwards again, I feel bad for the family again, all over again. You know, I don't know how long it's going to take, you know, if they could survive.
Manager John Martorella says it's been difficult. Because their alley sells alcohol, it's about to get even tougher. Beginning Friday, they'll have to close at 10 p.m., impacting league bowling during the week and forcing them to close 2 hours earlier on the weekends.
It's tough right now getting by as it is. We do a lot of business on Friday nights and Saturday nights from 10 to 12, and this is going to be a big hit for us.
Dewar says he doesn't think it's fair places like bowling alleys are being lumped in with bars and restaurants.
I don't think it's right. You know, restaurants and bars I can understand. They're just trying to keep people more segregated and limit the amount of people in these places. A place like this where I think they've got enough barriers and stuff up.
And with numbers continuing to rise, Martorella is afraid of what the future might hold.
To see the numbers rise is scary. You know, knowing the fact that the governor can close us down at any time, that's the scariest thought. And, you know, knowing that people in my family can end up with the virus.
In Rochester, Andrew Freeman, Spectrum News. It was a military funeral with full honors. The event drawing out a crowd worthy of the occasion.
I'm just overcome with the compassion that has been extended our family.
As Sergeant Howard Frederick Gotts was laid to rest next to his parents and brother at the St. Hill Cemetery.
Really making sure everything honors Howard how he should be as a not only a member of the military, but a member who was killed serving his country.
The day was full of dignity and respect. But his niece Joyce Richardson described the event as a celebration.
This is a homecoming of a family member that had been long thought lost.
See, Sergeant Gotts finally returned home after 76 years.
It's like I'm in a dream and I haven't woke up. I still can't believe the news that I received 9 weeks ago.
Sergeant Gotts was a World War II radio operator whose plane went down during a bombing operation over Romania in 1943. He was long thought to be missing in action.
The story was that he was burned up in a flaming bomber. So I don't ever expect remains of somebody burning up in a plane to ever be found.
But they were found, dug up in Belgium and identified thanks to DNA earlier this year.
I could tell it was my grandmother. She was relieved and, you know, she would have loved to have been here for this day.
His great-grandnephew Brian Kent helped organize the funeral. He followed in Gotts's footsteps by joining the Army. He says thanks to Gotts's legacy, he was gone, but never forgotten.
It's definitely overwhelming, especially knowing that I think only one person here actually knew my great-granduncle in person. So everyone else here is either extended family or people who didn't know him, but are coming to honor his sacrifice.
Everyone there to finally say, welcome home.
It is a celebration where we're all home now.
In Stanley, Andrew Freeman, Spectrum News.
Swimmers up.
Greg Dunn loves to coach Wheatland Chilai's varsity swim program.
There's a lot of camaraderie, but the teamwork is really individual work.
And his kids love him too.
Let's go, TK, kick your feet.
Mr. Dunn, he's a pretty good guy. I like him. I've beaten my record a lot this year.
He's been a coach at the school for 4 years, but this is his first overseeing swimming.
We've made a lot of progress this season. Our numbers got bigger. Our swimmers got faster.
Which is pretty special for him, considering what's hanging on the wall outside his pool.
This is my dad's Wheatland Chilai Hall of Fame plaque.
Romaine Rusty Dunn was inducted in 2007 after swimming for the school in the 70s and coaching there in the 80s.
He was a giant. He was a presence anywhere he went, but he was a gentle giant.
His team won the championship every year he attended school, and he oversaw a championship team in '83. And 2 of the 5 records he set himself are still unbroken.
He was built to be a swimmer. He was tall, he had broad shoulders, he had strong legs. He was just built to be in the pool.
His father taught Dunn everything he knows.
By the time I was 2, he was putting me in the pool, teaching me to swim.
And though he passed away nearly a decade ago,
he was huge. He was everything to me.
So coaching at Wheatland Chi-Light isn't just about his love for the sport.
Good, Ava. Nice job, Riley.
It's about legacy, too. Building a program his father would be proud of.
Everything I put into the pool is a reflection of him, and it's just kind of keeping him alive in the pool.
In Scottsville, Andrew Freeman, Spectrum News.